It's time for the Film Crickets with Jay Fortier, Chris Martineau, and Melanie Howerton. On this week's episode, Josh Dolan joins the Crickets.
What the goddamn to do? What do we have here?
And continues the month-long review of horror films. Jay, Chris, Melanie, and Josh review the 1988 American science fiction horror comedy film, Killer Klowns from Outer Space.
I don't know who you are, but before this night's over, you're gonna be begging for mercy.
Does it stand the test of time? Let's find out. Your Film Crickets are on now.
Hey friends, and welcome to the Film Crickets. My name is Jay Fortier. I'm along with my good friend, Chris Martineau.
Hello.
And also along with my other good friend, Melanie Howerton.
Hello.
Hey, and then we also have, from the Breaking the Ice podcast, we have Josh Dolan. Welcome back, buddy.
Thank you for having me back. And I keep forgetting how professional you guys are and show prepped with that intro. It surprises me every single time.
Well, we got the big bucks now, you know, so we're coming in at least negative $238. So yeah.
Hey, it's more than me.
Melanie, you put lights on your corpses. It's very festive of you.
Because I did all my Halloween lights and my rest of my decorations, and usually they go all over the table, but then I had my in-laws come over and we played cards, so I couldn't put them on the table, so I strung them up there, and I was like, well, they look kind of cute. Maybe I'll just leave them there.
I think the one on the right has a better suit than I do, but that's okay. I mean, and I just saw the skull. That's kind of neat. It's Father's Day, Bedelia. Where's my cake?
It's funny, he was like really in bad shape. He was outside for a while. I'm like, he looks kind of cool like that.
I thought you were against buying those real human skulls. I mean, that's looks like a real skull.
It actually is a real one.
Anyway.
I bought it from the website of memorabilia.
Yes. So it's haunted. It's up there with Annabelle and all that other stuff. So hey, Josh, how's it going?
Oh, it's going good. I mean,
it's going good.
I watched this movie that we're covering today, and you know,
oh boy.
To be honest, Melanie's Halloween decorations look like there was more of a budget for that than this movie.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I think that's fair to say. But I do have some opinions on.
Look at him. He's just chilling.
More.
Wow.
I've got them everywhere. I've got like dogs guarding my door that are skeletons. He's got a little friend over there behind him. I don't think you can see him. I don't know where. I can't see where I'm looking at, but there's a little skeleton dog on that chair, and there's some guarding the door over there. Like, I've got I got them all over the place. Got lights everywhere.
Melanie, this has gone from cute to maybe keying into some deep-seated psychological issue you might have.
You know,
I'm just throwing it out there as a friend. I say this as a friend. I mean,
no, she's just having a party, like in the movie The Jerk, where he had cardboard cutouts. She is.
I love that movie.
She'll be walking around Georgia. All I need is this pen and this chair.
And this, and I need this.
and all I need is this pen and this. All right, so we're beating around the bush because we got to get to this masterpiece called Killer Klowns from Outer Space. Who's responsible for this? Who can I?
It's me.
Who can I blame? Is that you? It's all you, Jay. Josh had nothing to do with this.
No. You know what? All right. So he's not really into horror movies. So I was like, well, let's give him something.
I feel like it's already starting to get blamed on me now.
No, it totally is.
No, but I didn't want to put him like if he's not if you're not into horror and it's an uncomfortable thing, I don't want to like I want you on the show, but I don't want you to be tortured in the process.
It's not that I'm not into it. I just avoid them at all costs.
Well, see, there you go. Right, enough. Yeah, we're talking semantics. So my whole thing is
keep it light.
Yeah.
No. Listen. Here's the thing. Listen. You want to? We always go down this. What's your history with this? Okay. I'm ready. I had almost no history with this movie. Meaning, like, I saw it in the video store, saw the cover, and I thought it was something that was taking itself so seriously that I was like, well, screw that. I'm not watching that movie, because I was like, I didn't like what it looked like. But I didn't realize what they were trying to do. You know, like when you actually watch it, you see like, oh, this is so much different than I was expecting. So I was always going, screw that. I ain't going to watch that dumbass movie. And I know other people in my presence right now feel the same currently after they've already seen it. But
long conversations, Jay, you missed. You missed.
It's one of those things. No, but it's one of those things I looked at. It was around when they started to come out at Universal Halloween Horror Nights, and they started to promote them and put them out there, and like listening to how excited people were getting, and it was like I was like, what the hell is up with this? Like, why are people this excited? So Wendy and I watched it. My wife Wendy and I watched it, and it was one of those things. It hit us at the right time, and we thought it was adorable. Like we had fun. Because I know everybody else thinks it's stupid. Probably I haven't heard Josh's thing yet, but I'm okay with the fact that it's stupid. Like
okay,
I you know the guy at the beginning, Mike. You know, like he's throughout the whole thing, but he's the one that's parking on the hill with his girlfriend.
Yes.
Okay.
In the full sweater.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well,
that
anyways.
Me.
You know how
you too?
Right. Yeah.
You too, right, Josh? Who has that much clothing on when they go parking? Like a full sweater and a collar. What is happening?
I wasn't alive in the
know,
80s, but I was like, maybe that was the thing in the 80s. I don't know.
No, it wasn't. No, but you know his face when the two guys show up with the ice cream.
Yeah.
His face, it's almost like he gets it. Like, you know what I mean? Like he's seeing how goofy they are when they come into town, like saying the lick a stick as a specific type of ice cream, right?
Yep.
No, but he's laughing. He's like, man, I just have so much fun when they're around. So it's like that's how I felt. Like it's like okay, this is goofy. I'm having fun. So
let's go around the horn, and I feel like I need to do a caveat before we get into this. Because and I'll tell you why in a minute. So Josh, what's your deal with this movie? Like, when was the last time you saw it? Is this the first time you saw it? Like, what's your deal?
This
last
was
time, first time,
the
whatever.
First time I saw it and heard of it.
Okay, all right.
Now I know the last two times I was on, I had an unhealthy obsession with those two movies, but
yes,
this one not the case.
Okay, all right, good, all right.
I mean, Jay kind of, warned me about it, set me up for it, where he was like, it's stupid, but they're trying to be stupid. And then I was watching it, and I was like, this is stupid. This is just stupid.
Like, you're on an island, damn it. You're on an island.
Yeah.
But, I mean...
But we don't know if Josh enjoyed it. Maybe we'll get into that.
I wouldn't call it enjoy.
Oh, good.
I got what they were trying to do. I just felt like the only thing this movie was missing was Leslie Nielsen, Mel Brooks, and Harvey Korman.
Sure. Yeah.
And
I'll give you that.
It was just like it was a mixture of like Spaceballs and Naked Gun.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it has gags. Yeah. So, all right. Well, let's not get too far ahead, Melanie. Your history with Crazy Clowns with a K. Killer Klowns, K, from outer space. Hit it.
Okay, I've never seen it before.
Okay.
I knew what it was. I knew about it. And when Jay recommended it, I said to myself, how much do you want to bet my mom has this on DVD? And she did. Because she has films like this on DVD, Basket Case and crazy films like that. So I knew my mom would have that. And she did. So I knew about it. I am one of the neighborhoods that is around here that does it. They're all out for Halloween. They're amazing. It's the coolest house. You go to this house and their entire house, which is a 2-story house, they put a whole tent, a circus tent, over the front of the entire 2-story house and have killer clowns from outer space in these huge costumes walking around on stilts, passing out candy with like lights everywhere, and it's the coolest thing. So I knew about it, and I was actually excited to see it. I wanted to watch it because I had heard about it so much, and my daughter was telling me, oh yeah, I see kids at school with backpacks of killer clowns, and they have t-shirts on and all that. So I said, oh, I'm excited to see this, and of course then I'm starting to watch it, and I'm like, okay, like we'll get into that later, but yeah, that I've never seen it before.
All right. Cool. Josh, are you trying to get my attention?
No,
you just your hand.
It looks like he's raising his hand like
yeah. That's cool.
Like, hold on, you mean people like it? That's cool.
Yeah.
Question: what the hell?
I can see how like. Yeah, pushing merch. Smash that like button. So I think I see where you're coming from with the backpack. It's just kind of like this retro thing, like kids like retro. And obviously, when you see the opening credits of this movie, it's obviously in a stylized early '80s, like almost like the final chapter. Friday the 13th final chapter comes up with an explosion.
Early '80s. It was made in 1988.
Yeah. I know, and that's another point I want to get to. But before I get too far ahead of myself. I heard of this movie. I knew the deal with this movie. I only heard of this movie. I was either watching. There are several things I put on loop when I'm grading, and I do a lot of grading. I'm in the middle of that right now because I'm a teacher. But it's like I'll put something on that I don't have to pay attention to. Usually it's horror in red, white, and blue, or In Search of Darkness parts 1 and 2, or the 8-hour Friday the 13th marathon. And I heard of this movie on one of those compilations, and basically the people that are presenting it when it comes to talk about Killer Klowns from Outer Space basically say what Josh said and Melanie said and Jay said, is that like it's this campy kind of stupid, but like it's low budget horror, and you have to be into low budget horror. So having said that, I'd heard of the movie, never thought to ever once watch it, saw the blips of it on those kind of compilation best of horror things, and I'm like, I think I've seen it. I don't think I need to really touch base. But thanks to this show, which I appreciate. Well, no, don't say you're welcome yet. No, I'm kidding. Thanks to this show, I get to see movies that I quote unquote forced to watch a movie with an open mind and an open eye and try to see, the value or not value of a film. So having said that, as Josh blasts his coconut water, what was that?
Sorry, it's sober October. It's coconut water. It's disgusting.
Oh, that's fine. It is not sober October. So anyway.
Guys.
So, yes?
We have a pause for a second, sorry. He just came back from Wendy, and so if he doesn't say hi, we're in trouble.
Hi.
Hey, buddy.
Hello.
Oh, hi.
Oh,
hey, buddy.
Howdy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what?
How are the kitties?
Good.
Yeah?
I have an idea.
Oh, hi, Josh.
Hey, what's up?
Doing good. I gotta ask something about Killer Klowns from Outer Space.
All right.
Yes.
Is that like alien who look like clowns come from outer space and terrorize a small town?
That's exactly what it is.
That's the one sentence.
That's the movie. Yeah. Pretty much. All right. So we had the one sentence breakdown. So I'm going to do the credits. Is that cool? All right. So that is Killer Klowns from Outer Space in basically one sentence, and pretty much sums it up. Not much depth to this movie. So let's get into it. The director of Killer Klowns from Outer Space is rated PG-13, coming in an hour and 28 minutes. Directed by Stephen Chiodo. Writers are Charles and Stephen and Edward Chiodo, A Family Affair. And it stars Grant Kramer as Mike Tobacco. My God. Suzanne Snyder as Debbie Stone. John Allen Nelson as Dave Hansen. And there's a bunch of nobodies except for Chris Titus. Christopher Titus makes his film debut.
Where was he?
I have no idea, but he's in there somewhere. I missed him.
He was in the very beginning of the movie, and he just literally the only thing he did was walk by a street. That's all he did.
All right.
He was an extra, and you got an IMDb for that.
Yeah, why not? He's SAG. It's fine. And then John Vernon as Curtis Mooney, who is the Dean from Animal House. Poor guy. But you know what? He did a great job. He was the Dean from Animal House. Again, super conservative police officer in a small town who wants all the hippies to go. So that's a pretty 80s theme, if you want to look at it. So look, we got to talk about this movie, right? And Jay, here's the thing. You're a dear friend to me. I'm obviously gonna go to town on this film. I'm gonna go at this movie like a shit sandwich. So meaning good in the middle, a bunch of crappy patty in the middle, and then good at the end. So there is some redeeming value to the film, and I just want you to know, like, I don't hold back, and I don't want anybody to come across like I'm attacking anybody, because I'm not, except when I attack Clue, and Melanie deserve that. But besides that,
hello, this is fucking Clue's way better than this. I'm sorry.
Oh, it is. Clue is actually better than this film. So I'm gonna go ahead, but it's always at the movie. I don't get it. So look, here's the thing. This movie, and I'm gonna start with this. Low budget horror is fantastic for a lot of reasons. So here's the beginning of the shit sandwich. Low budget horror is fantastic because you can see the earnestness in the filmmakers. They have a vision. Their vision is this movie. They don't have a lot of budget, and I believe they executed their vision exactly like they wanted to see it. Is anybody going to disagree with me on that?
I will disagree with you is the fact that I thought it was super low budget. When I watched the beginning, I'm like, okay, obviously all they needed was some clown costumes and some popcorn. But it's not that low budget, because I remember watching films with you guys they had a $300,000 budget. This film had a $1.8 million budget. And that freaking popcorn gun cost $7,000 and took 6 weeks to make. So they had a pretty good sized budget. So, and I will disagree with the fact that, well, you know, I don't know if you can tell already, but this is not my cup of tea, but I do love the fact that how passionate the brothers were about making this movie. And they said it was the best project that they'd ever made together. And I have so much stuff on that, but I love the fact that they were just so into this movie and how much they wanted to make this movie. But yeah, I'm with you, Chris, on a lot of stuff.
It's mostly garbage, but
a big budget though. I thought though. I mean,
well, I mean, it's more than most, but
yeah.
Josh, like, what do you like? Do you think the vibe came across? Like, do you think they executed their plan or not?
I executed their plan. I don't think they really had a plan.
Okay, all right.
But
okay,
like Melanie said, I looked up the budget of this movie last night, and I saw that it was $2.8 million or something, and I was like, what did they spend that money on? Catering?
I didn't know it's that high.
I mean,
yeah.
It was like, I've seen better special effects at Halloween stores in Fitchburg, Massachusetts. But I mean, I don't know why this was their vision. I'm happy for them, but it annoys me. It annoys me that it got greenlit. Like, they got multiple other adults on the same page, and then it kept getting. Do you know how many good movies don't get made? This one got made, and it kept getting pushed through. Like, that kept getting.
Yep.
You know what? We see what you're doing here.
Yep.
I can't believe it made it, but.
I you know, you got to look at the dailies on this movie. I'm like, who has, like, when you're shooting a scene, particularly the makeout scene with a bunch of people that are fully, I don't want to see nakedness, but like a full sweater in the back of a car where you're making. And by the way, when did Makeout Hill come back? 1988. Like, I thought that was a 50s thing. But who has a raft and a station wagon? Like, who has a raft and a station wagon? Like, I ask you.
I have that.
Go ahead.
Okay.
You have a raft and a station wagon? I don't need to know this about you.
No. No, the makeout scenes, I'm sure they still go on. Any teenager is going to look for a place that's quiet to go park.
I know that, but there was like 10 cars there.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
That's all I'm getting at.
Okay, sweater, maybe they just got there. I don't know. Maybe they just got there and then have not had time to do anything yet.
You shouldn't have had it on at all.
Yeah. The raft scene was
we
kind
don't
of
give
cute.
a shit if you're cold.
Yeah.
The raft scene was cute because a lot of these characters came from the brothers' real friends that they had. And so that character of Mike, Tobacco, basically came from their friend who, I guess he had a raft and he got lost at sea, and the Coast Guard had to come rescue him. And his father was so pissed that he got lost at sea and the Coast Guard had to come rescue him that he took his raft and he knifed it and put a bunch of holes in it to, like, kill the raft, and he was so pissed at him. So Mike actually, like, patched up the raft, and then he had to keep it in his vehicle. So that came from a real person. It was one of their friends.
It's an inside joke that no one will understand.
It's an inside joke.
In a movie that's too expensive.
Well, I wouldn't call that an
make
inside
sense.
joke.
I would call the whole script an inside joke.
All right, yeah.
I would say it's more of just, you know, like, painting this guy as a whatever. This is him. We put him in it.
Yeah. And they wanted his character to be more like a dumb blonde, kind of like a dumb blonde, dumb broad type of character. And Debbie, his girlfriend, was supposed to be like the smart one in it. And then they took, like I said, a lot of the people from their own, characters in real life. And they The Blob was their favorite sci-fi movie. So the whole beginning with that old man and the dog and all that, and so many things, even Maloney, the most horrible cop ever, who, no matter what you're doing in life, if you have somebody that's calling and telling you that there's crazy things going on, it's your job as a policeman to check those things out. But he thought the whole town was against him and didn't, take anything seriously. But that came, his character and a lot of his lines actually came from The Blob. That was their favorite sci-fi movie. And they also got a lot of things. They kind of put in together The Blob, Looney Tunes, and it was, what was it? What's that Hardy group? Was it Daryl? I'm going to say the wrong name.
Laurel and
Hardy Boys?
Laurel and Hardy.
Laurel and Hardy.
All right.
So they got Laurel and Hardy, The Blob, and Looney Tunes, they said.
Yeah, but the difference
mixed into this movie.
Okay, fine, but I agree. But the problem is that any of these characters, I didn't give a shit about any of them.
Of course not.
Like, none of them were relatable. They had the depth of the shallow end at the pool. I mean, I don't understand. Also, guys, the acting in this, it seemed like it was about as good as like an episode of Happy Days. It was that good.
I was gonna say that.
Horrible.
You were not. All right.
I was gonna say either Happy Days or Grease.
Yeah,
they were like over the top acting, and even though in this movie there wasn't like an Aussie chick ripping butts at the end of it, but there was that same kind of acting in it. It reminded me of Grease or Happy Days or like American Pie.
It was about as good as Mac and Me. Call back to Mac and Me.
Oh my God, I remember that.
But you know what? The Happy Days had Inspiration Point.
That's valid, yeah. But that was the 50s. This is 1988 in a movie that looks like it was shot in 1981. But it was supposed to be the 50s.
Yeah.
The 50s were very big in the 80s.
That's true. That's true. But I mean, you have a movie that's made in 88. It looks like it was made in 81. And here's the thing, like I don't like the Toxic Avenger for.
No, that's garbage.
The same reason I don't like this. Like it's the Toxic Avenger. Now, granted, it's
bigger problems with the other one.
Fair enough, but Trauma is this low budget thing that's trying to get, it's trying to get kind of this sensational kind of goofy thing. Now, I will say it's a better movie than anything Trauma put out. I'll say that. So I'm not going to go down that road, but it's kind of the same. It's not the same thing. I guess that's not a great point.
Because like Trauma always has these overdubbing weird shit and really disgusting stuff. And I mean,
really I'll give you that. Hey, fair enough. Not a very good point. I'll give you that.
No, I'm saying like something in Toxic Avenger happens that I would challenge anyone to defend it.
I think I saw half that movie, so because I kind of gave up. But also, truth be told, I refused to rent this movie. So I watched it on Pluto TV.
Me too.
And Pluto TV has commercials. But here's the problem. I don't know why. It kept glitching at one commercial, and I actually couldn't advance the movie. It just kept glitching. So I actually never saw the end of this movie. I know that there's a Clownzilla because I looked it up, and I figured I could probably figure out the end. But I actually never finished it because I really just couldn't get past the glitch in the commercial. It was so weird. And nobody else on that? Just me.
No, because I had the DVD. My mom.
Yeah. Sorry, Miss Special. I have all these awful DVDs. You should watch Basket Case soon.
I don't have it. No, that's what I said. She's got that down there, okay? So I knew she would have this.
So here's the thing. We have a lot of gags in this movie, right? And they're all from these clowns. And the clowns, granted, Josh, I was going to give the clowns some credit because the clowns look good. Like, their faces look good. But then you said that thing about Spirit Halloween, and I realized they're about as good as the stuff from Spirit Halloween. So maybe the clowns... Yeah, maybe the clowns aren't that good.
These ones move. These masks move. I was also impressed with those. So
yeah, because the ears would go. So they did... That looked good. I'll give you that. My problem with the movie is that, besides many things, is that, first of all, these clowns are coming in, they're doing gags by killing people, just like a Friday the 13th. has a gag. Like, what's the gag when they kill this guy, right? So they're coming in and they have the shadow puppet gag and they have the popcorn gun gag, like, and all that stuff, right? So they're all supposed to be funny, and they are kind of because they're goofy, and it establishes no menace in the movie. Like, you don't get an overwhelming sense of menace until, and this is what I'm going to give credit for, the scene in the police station when they come out and they have the guy on he's acting as the marionette puppet. And then we finally get the motivations of the killer clowns, which is the same as the aliens from Independence Day. We just want to kill things. And that, to me, established some menace, but it came in halfway through the movie. Up to that point, there was no menace. It was just, I mean, I know they're going around killing people. We don't know why, and we don't really care. And then once we get that scene, that's actually kind of sort of scary, a little bit. I don't know. Anybody else's take on that? Like, it doesn't establish any menace. Or am I wrong?
I don't have that. All I want to say is that part reminded me of Independence Day, where the alien took the scientist and stuck him up against the window, and he was making him talk through him, just like the clown was.
Right.
But no, there's nothing in this movie I thought was scary. And
I didn't say scary.
That was supposed to be funny to me was not funny. I mean, to me it was like, it's like Mr. Bean. It's like, maybe if I was 2 years old and somebody slipped on a banana peel, and I would be like, oh my God, that's so funny. But I know it's supposed to be funny. I know it's supposed to be stupid. That was their whole concept. Like, they wanted people to play serious roles, knowing that it was like, and it's so funny. I don't know how they keep a straight face in it, but they wanted them to be serious, knowing that these things were totally ridiculous. And their concept was nobody would be afraid of a clown. You know, they could put them anywhere and everybody would just kind of ignore them and not really see them, which kind of reminded me of something John Wayne Gacy said, that like, you can get away with anything when you're a clown, you know, like,
wow.
I don't know. It wasn't, the only thing I thought was kind of cute was the balloon animals. When they made balloon animals, I mean, they thought of everything, you know, like, but they had to put latex on the bottom of their feet so they wouldn't pop, because they kept popping. Right. And then drinking out of a gigantic silly straw, you know, and bringing their own puppet show out into the gazebo, and they even had a puppet show they brought with them. I'm like, this guy thought of everything.
Like, but think of this for a second. It's hard to take it's hard to take. I don't take this movie seriously. I don't want you guys to think,
but it's just not funny enough.
No, but I don't want you to think that like I'm going, oh man,
genius.
Shit. Yeah. It's just more like one of those, like, it's like, you know, it lands right now. Because what guy would walk into a park and stop to watch a puppet show?
Yeah.
And this guy is like probably college age plus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Josh, you look like you're ready to say something, so go ahead.
Yeah, well, he did look college. He was supposed to be college age plus, but he looked 40 in a college body. Some about those movies that they people back then just looked 40 already. But
like Peggy Sue Got Married.
Yes.
Yep. Granted, Melanie, what you said is that nobody reacts to a clown, but why wouldn't you react to a clown that looks that terrible? Like, the clowns all do these gags before they're about to kill somebody, and everybody thinks it's amusing. That's not an amusing clown. Like, clowns are already normal clowns are already. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I just think of like why would a little girl walk towards the scariest looking clown on the planet outside in the parking lot at night going...
Yeah, I know.
And her mom didn't even care. She was just like, I told you how to eat your dinner before you go outside. So you were going to let her go outside by herself in the dark after she ate her dinner, but that's okay.
I have a feeling she didn't even look up.
Yeah,
no, I
at the clown. I think she was looking like straight down at the kid and just grabbing her.
But regardless if the clown was even there or not, it's dark outside. You can go out and play by yourself in a parking lot in the dark by yourself as long as you eat your dinner first. She was more upset that she didn't eat her dinner. Like, true, 80s parents. You're totally right. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, by and large. Yeah. Hey, you know, whenever I enter an unknown spacecraft that looks like a circus tent, and I wander around inside very calmly, like, wow, isn't this weird? And I go to open a door that has a code. I always get that code right the first time.
Oh, yeah.
With 100%. Yeah, just 3 buttons. It goes like this, and then it opens. And when that door opens, you know what I do, Josh and Melanie and Jay? I walk in. 100%. I walk in that door without no questions asked. Boy, isn't this intriguing? Yeah, just kind of came up.
You see how deep it was? It was like this massive, like, 30-foot cave into the ground.
Well, it's borrowing Doctor Who technology. It's bigger on the inside. So, like I said, they're trying to. I get what they're going for, but it's just tough for me because the kills weren't necessarily that funny, and like the people, I didn't care about them like at all. They were mostly just annoying. So I didn't. And that's how it is in most slasher movies, but it's like I really didn't care about them because, again, they acted like they were on Happy Days. And even then, and I'll say, I think this movie sabotages itself on several occasions. And I know we disagreed about the sense of menace, but to me, the scene, in the police, in the police station when he has the puppet of Dean Vernon and he's mouthing the words and saying, "We just want to kill you. You're not going to stop us," which is actually kind of ominous. They end it by shooting him in the nose, and then confetti comes out of it. So I thought this was supposed to be ominous, and then they turned it into a joke, which I'm like, why did you do that? You had something good going there. You can go back to the jokes later. I don't know. Is that like their Achilles heel? I didn't actually finish the movie. Do you shoot him in the nose to kill them, or does that come back or not?
Yeah.
I missed it.
Isn't that how the end guy got killed too?
I don't remember that part, and I had to force myself to watch the damn thing twice.
I watched it last night, and I already forget. But but Chris, your point there actually made me remember what I was going to say.
You're welcome.
This movie, I think, had the right idea. Like I was saying earlier, it was just missing like Leslie Nielsen or Harvey Korman or Mel Brooks or something like that. Like I got what they were going for. It's kind of like when. Like, at this point, like, now that I've done stand-up for over 10 years, like, I'll go to a comedy club and I'll be like, that guy was really good. And I won't even laugh once. But I'll be like, I understand what they were doing. And I'm laughing in a different way. But I think that this movie was... It had the right idea, but the execution was off. Because it was like the clowns when they made the balloon animal dog, and then all of a sudden he was like the drug sniffing dog and they were running through the woods. I was like, I get what they're doing, but there was a different way you could have done that. And I don't know. It was just like that cop that was playing like all serious. I was like, Leslie Nielsen needs to do that because I don't know what it is, but he has that down where he's like, he's being serious, but it's also so funny that you lose control of your body.
He's great.
Hey guys, when you just a quick thing because I wrote it down, and this is me being really nitpicky at this point. So we have I am very thankful again. I know, right? Hey, this is my thing, man. This is how I roll. So, again, I don't know if the Pluto edit is different. Melanie, is it like it's a fairly safe movie to watch for like? Did they edit out any nudity or sex or anything?
No, not.
It just as is.
No.
Okay, I don't know. I usually don't. I usually don't do Pluto.
No,
right?
the worst things you saw was either the things inside the cotton candy cocoons or. We haven't even mentioned cotton candy cocoons yet.
Oh, how could we miss that?
That was disturbing.
I know, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Right. But then the other thing was the head that got knocked off by the little kid.
Knock your block off. Yeah.
Guys, that was like probably the grossest, quote unquote, grossest thing.
So we had the popcorn turning into little clowny heads inside the bathroom where the female lead is taking a shower. Right?
And they look real good, by the way. Real good special effects.
Good special effects. Also, guys, I don't
know.
I'm
being not serious.
and I love the '80s wallpaper in the bathroom as well, kind of that turquoise and pink situation. But I also want to say the following: I don't know about you when you decorate, but I always try to put paper posters in my bathroom where there's a lot of steam. I'm just throwing it out there. I don't think that's ever gonna last. I know I'm being nitpicky. They're on a quote-unquote budget of $3 million, but maybe you could have gotten a framed something or other. Just go to At Home. Go to Home Goods. Find one of those Live, Laugh, Love posters behind a frame. Put it in that damn bathroom.
Well, Michael's, they're buy one, get one free.
Oh, fantastic.
Lobby.
Something that has the rules, no cussing, no fighting, no drop your pants here at the laundry, make sure the coins are on the... Something in a frame. I don't think you want to use...
Hang in there.
Yeah, hang in there.
The kitty.
Yes.
I've got some of the bathroom scene there. Okay, how many times when you guys go take a shower in your own house, do you fully get dressed with leg warmers and sneakers and sweaters and everything? Wouldn't you normally just put a towel on? It's in your own bathroom, and then you go into your bedroom, and then you dry off and you get changed. Why is she in there? First of all, why does every girl have to take a shower in a horror movie? Like, every girl has to take a shower. She's so dirty that she's just got to go take a shower. And then if you're going to take a shower, I would think it would be before you go to bed and you're going to put your nightgown on and then get into bed. Why is she going home to take a shower for no reason? Just because she got some popcorn stuck on her sweater. And then she's got to go, take a shower and then fully get dressed and then leave the bathroom. I just thought that was weird.
Yep.
Well, it's not like at least they didn't, turn her into the objectified woman, like where they made her.
Oh, sure. I mean, you're right, but I mean, it is again, it's
no, but it wasn't the gratuitous. Here we go.
Sure, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, I appreciate
the
that.
Lady.
Yeah, because that's silly. I mean, it's unnecessary, but yeah, boy. So wait a minute. If they have a popcorn gun, the $7,000 popcorn gun, that they're using as a weapon. Can they also use the popcorn gun to repopulate their species? Do those little things turn into clowns, or are they just little things? Again, didn't finish the movie.
I think they're babies.
They're babies and they grow. Okay. And when did I miss the
they turn into like offspring.
Okay. And there's a colonization because suddenly there were 3 clowns and then we end up with a parade of 50 clowns. Like, how did that happen? Did they all come out of the TARDIS? The TARDIS spaceship? They came out of the TARDIS spaceship? Okay, just checking on that one.
Again, there was not a lot of notes in production meetings. How much money do you want?
Yeah.
There you go.
He said they went to Toys R Us and they bought like every kind of like toy and brought it home and like basically made it lethal.
And the thing is, like, if you want to, but even like Evil Dead, which the first Evil Dead with the claymation and whatnot, like, it had that intensity. It's a goofy movie, and it's sometimes a little weird, but like, it has that intensity, but they can execute it. Whereas this thing, it just seems like they're trying to execute it, but not really. Like, they're executing their vision, but their vision's not that great. I don't know. That's just me. I don't know. I'm a killer clown with a K.
Oh, and did you notice how they were like, we got to call the state police. It's just like in Halloween. Because, like, if you call the state police, then everybody will be saved all the time. All you got to do is call the state police.
Yep, no doubt. They've got everything. No matter what supernatural thing is going on, no matter what alien invasion with laser guns, call the state police. We need some help down here.
They're just hanging out on the highway. Give them a call.
So how did again, I'm sorry, and I did not stop watching this movie because I wasn't digging it. Pluto TV would not let me finish this movie. How did the clown get big?
That was just I think that was the leader clown, wasn't it? That came.
Came out.
He just came out of the closet. He's what?
Like the guys in the ice cream truck decided to because they have the clown on top of their ice cream truck. They said they grabbed the mic and they were like, you listen to us, like, oh, you listen to me, like, as like, pretending that they're a clown. Yeah. It basically they stopped for a second and everyone's thinking, oh, this is going to work. And all of a sudden Clownzilla just pops up out of nowhere. And he's like bigger than anything else. So,
okay.
That was Charlie that was in that suit. One of the brothers.
You're like, oh, yeah. I think I read
that. We all stopped short. We're
sorry. And then,
I'm not Charlie.
Who's Charlie?
You guys, I know, Chris, you love Star Wars. Joe, how do you say it? Biscoso? He was the pyro effects person that did this because there was like a big fire scene at the end.
Oh, all right.
He was the one that did all the Star Wars stuff.
Well, I mean.
All right, so guys.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Yes.
Behind me, you can see the giant poster that's got horror icons.
Yes.
Is it Killer Klowns in
everywhere?
There? Yeah.
Well, so like I'm doing this so you're not having a. So there's Michael, right?
Yeah.
Look in the dead center.
Oh yeah.
Boy. Yeah.
Yeah.
The dead center. I see Gene Simmons.
No.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Gene Simmons.
He has boobs.
See, he has boobs.
Not Elvira.
That was Gene Simmons.
How about
for
that?
a second.
Why is he between the Tar Man and the alien from The Thing? He should be back, and he should be in the back 40. Come on, you can't put him in there. Jeez.
That ice cream truck. Yeah. You know that ice cream truck? I know it's not the same, but it reminded me of like "Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead" or at Men at Work.
Men at Work. Men at Work. Men at Work. Wow, I haven't heard.
And
then
the car. I know it's not the same thing, but the car reminded me of like Banana Splits or something.
Oh, this had Banana Splits written all over. I think I wrote that down.
Yeah.
Like it had that vibe of the Banana Splits. Except, hey, did you guys see? Did y'all see the Banana Splits horror movie that came out a couple of Halloweens ago?
I couldn't wrap my head around.
It wasn't good.
No sense.
It wasn't good. But they just basically said, "What if the Banana Splits went crazy and started gutting people?" It was nuts. It wasn't good. It was fun to watch, but it wasn't good at all. Like
exactly, yeah.
There's a horror movie called Banana Splits.
Yes, it was on Sci-Fi.
Yeah. This is how involved in horror I am.
It was.
It was an actual kids show before. That's why I said I couldn't wrap my head around.
Well, those are also horrific.
When we were growing up.
Yes, yeah.
And then they decided to turn it into a weird horror movie.
Well, the gig was it was still a kids show, and this kid was going to go to the show. Well, went to the show. He got tickets, and everyone's like, "You're too old to go to the Banana Split show to watch these people in costumes." But they replaced the costume people with robots, and a la Chopping Mall, the robots went nuts and started gutting people. So it's not good. It's gross.
Chopping Mall effect, didn't it?
Chopping Mall's bad. So wait a minute. And again, you gotta bear with me. Again, I want to say I did not do my homework. They wouldn't let me finish this movie. What happens? Tell me what happens at the end of this film. I am intrigued. Do we beat Clownzilla? Do we save the human race? How does it happen?
The spaceship sort of goes up, but the cop guy, the good cop, is up in there, and he shoots Clownzilla, I guess, in the nose, and then somehow lands back on the ground safely.
Okay.
And the funniest thing is, earlier they established, and yes, this is stupid. Of course it is. Mm-hmm. And it's one of those things you're like, okay, I guess, no one's going to explain that.
Yeah.
Earlier, they established that when the clowns throw pies at somebody, they're like acid pies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Where they melt a guy down to a skeleton. And then pies land on the three heroes at the end after the ship blows up.
Yep.
and the music starts up, and it's as if nothing's wrong.
Yeah.
These are the non-acidic pies.
Yeah. You got the safety pies.
And I have something on that because I forced myself to watch this twice because I watched it once and it took everything to get through it. But then I was like, you know what? I realized that it had special features, so I watched those. And then it said, "Oh, you can watch it with commentary." And I was like, "Damn it, we should have watched it with commentary." I really don't want to watch this again, but I'm going to have to do it. So
oh, my God.
I watched it again with commentary because I thought it would be kind of cool to hear some of the stuff from the guys that made it. And so at the end, he was like, okay, so how lethal are those pies? Are they really? Did we just kill off our entire cast?
Yeah.
Because they were kind of talking back and forth to each other. Why didn't they dissolve? And then also Dave was supposed to die at the end, but they changed it so that they would have a happy ending. But I thought it was funny because the end, Mike runs up to him and gives him a hug. It's like his, girlfriend's ex-boyfriend, but he runs up and gives him a hug. I thought that was kind of funny.
It's cool. Hey,
well, it's also he gets behind her, his ex, he gets behind her.
Yes.
And gives her a hug and sniffs her hair almost and gives her a kiss on the back of the head. And Mike completely no big deal. Absolutely.
Yeah.
They made a sandwich of a hug between the three of them at the end.
All right. Killer Clown Throughway. Hey, Josh.
Yes.
Hey, Josh. And you mentioned the high budget on this movie, or the staggeringly high budget, and how this thing was greenlit.
I don't know who approved this budget, but
however, it does embrace was it Sober October? Did you
Sober
see
October?
Yeah, when they were in the park, when they were parking at the beginning of the movie, and they poured out the champagne. That was all water. That glass is full of straight up water. So we're not spending money on the liquor bill because that was water. Now I get why, but still, maybe apple juice, maybe sparkling cider.
$1.50, maybe 80 cents back then.
Straight up.
Hey, you got no name beer.
I know beer. That's right. I forgot.
I just said beer.
Beer. Straight out of Repo Man. Just beer.
Again, I want to know what that 2.8 was spent on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't the movie.
Well, don't forget the clowns moved.
Yeah, well, it was the 80s. A lot of cocaine, maybe. Who knows?
That's true.
Yeah, a lot of
why
coke.
everyone said yes. This is a good thing.
I know they made the tent out of like ship sails, but
okay.
And then everything was like rubber, and then that popcorn gun. Oh, I know another $3,000 that they spent came from. There was all their
She's
vehicles.
Literally itemizing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. So yeah, the Jeep was rented, where they sprayed all that cotton candy stuff in there.
Yeah.
And it cost them $3,000 to repair that because it ruined it. It was a brand new promo Jeep.
Oh,
and they were supposed to return it to the dealership. And they were told that this stuff would just come right off, and it like ruined the roof, the vinyl chairs, the vinyl seating, and then the dashboard. So they had to send it somewhere else and be repaired before they had to give it back to the Jeep company. So that was $3,000, $7,000 for the gun. And then I have no idea.
Nice.
Yeah, we're still not even pushing $25,000 here, so I don't know where the rest of that went.
Cocaine. Cocaine. All right.
Well, that's why it was so funny to them.
Yeah, maybe. That could be it.
It's working.
Killer cocaine clowns from outer space. KKK. Oops, I didn't say that.
Ooh,
all right.
You got a whole other problem.
Whoops.
We were all thinking it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Hey, maybe we should see if this movie holds up.
It's time now for final judgment. Are you ready to rubber stamp this bitch? Here's the final judgment.
All right. Now it's time for final judgment. Up until this point, it has been opinion, but now it shall be written in stone.
Wow.
And we shall start
Jesus.
with Chris.
All right. So hi. No. Okay, we'll go to Josh. No. No, I'll give you more now. I'm just busting balls. I'm busting balls. See, here's the thing, right? No, it doesn't hold up. Sometimes, and I brought it up last week, and I differed with Ray on this. He made a good point, and I agree with Ray. Sometimes movies are bad originally, and they're still bad now. So in that regard, by that argument, they hold up in and of themselves because they were never good to begin with. This movie doesn't hold up. It wasn't good to begin with. It doesn't hold up now because I don't think a modern audience would kind of dig like the kitschy irony of it. I think they're a little smarter in terms of their comedy. I just think they're going to find it kind of boring. And lastly, couple of Native American blasts in this that probably won't sail these days. That's being a little picky. I'm not trying to be Mr. Woke because I'm not. But
that's every movie from back then.
Yeah, I know, and that's a weak argument. But so when they re-release this on Disney Plus, they'll make sure that they change that. But anyhow, so no, it doesn't hold up. I don't feel that it does. I'm rolling the dice, and I'm gonna go to Josh. Tell me, Josh.
All right. If I just look over my notes really quickly here, no, it doesn't. No, and especially the test of time, I don't think it carried over to '89. So
yeah.
I
didn't get out of the decade.
No, it didn't. It didn't get out of the year. It was a good year, but not for them. Well, I guess for them because I mean they pulled off the most hilarious sales pitch ever, which was their script.
Yep.
So I'm gonna go with a hard no.
All right. Cool. Oh, Melanie.
Okay, so I have a couple things I wanted to say from the trivia stuff that I wrote down. And do you want me to do that before or after I say if it holds up or not?
Go holds up first.
Okay. I hated this movie. I when Jay said he picked it, I thought he picked it because he wanted to pick a couple bad horror movies to do because they're fun to do. But I hated it. I think it was dumb then. I think it's dumb now. And I understand that it's supposed to be funny, but I know it's supposed to be dumb and funny, but I don't laugh that easily. And I don't know. It doesn't hold up at all, but it's kind of, you can argue in a little bit because, if it didn't hold up at all, then why are they still making like Halloween costumes and people are doing, stupid houses with these, guys. And they also made an Xbox game now, you guys, and a Windows game and a PlayStation game. And there's stuff on Etsy. I just looked before I came on the show. There's t-shirts and DVDs and backpacks and blankets and action figures and all of this stupid stuff from this movie. So I guess it holds up to some people that may have liked it, or they just think that this stuff is cute. To me, I don't see how it could hold up. I know somebody had mentioned before they would like us to mention how, about music, so I just have that about it. The Dickies punk rock band wrote the theme song prior to seeing the movie. They had a big following, so that's a lot of people that started watching this movie in the beginning came from their fans. And John, I'm probably going to say this wrong, Massery wrote the music for the movie. He was an American composer. I want to know why the old man in the beginning thinks that if he finds a comet, he's going to be filthy rich.
Yeah, it's
he
just a rock.
Up on it.
Yeah.
I don't understand that part.
Comets also don't land, but okay, that's fine.
Yeah. And then the other thing is Suzanne there. She's from Weird Science, Return of the Dead, and Night of the Creeps, which I wanted you guys to watch. And what else? Oh, they worked on Large Marge and Pee-wee's Big Adventure and Critters. Right. And some of the masks in this movie were repurposed as troll heads in 1991 Ernest Scared Stupid.
All right.
And then the brothers had a cameo in the movie in the Big Top Burger, but they said they got edited out of their own film.
No.
Yeah.
Ended up on their own.
And then the stunt man, this one other thing. Oh, two other things real quick. The stunt man that got pulled into the dumpster towards like the middle part.
Yes.
They asked, "What can you do? Why should we hire you?" So he had somebody kick him in the balls.
All right.
And so all he did was smile while that was happening and prove that he can handle any kind of pain, and he got hired. I just thought that was kind of crazy.
And now we have Jackass.
Yep.
Yes, thank you, exactly. And then it's funny because again, I think Josh, you mentioned I don't think they knew what they were kind of doing as they were doing it. So when the shadow clown guy was like collecting people and he was putting them in a bag full of popcorn, they were like, "Why'd you put him in a bag full of popcorn?" And he says, "I don't know. It was better than an empty bag." So they were kind of making it up as they went. And then the clown that blew the powder puff in the container scene in the store, he had to be rescued because that powder went up into his face and got trapped into the mask.
Oh.
And he was choking in there.
That's still good.
That's it.
All right.
So, no, to me, it doesn't hold up.
All right. Cool.
All right.
Jason.
All right, so I'm going to say it absolutely does, and here's why.
Okay.
People are like, it's like this cult thing now.
It is a cult following.
And cult usually, like, that is kind of a test of something holding up. Meaning in the sense of, we say other things are cult movies, like Repo Man or whatever. Like, there's other things. And when they get into that status where people are buying merch and they're buying special editions and they're like, you go to Spirit Halloween right now, there are actual coffee mugs. There's signage. There's also, and there's an animatronic of the little guy with the boxing gloves.
If Newbury Comics picks you up, you've made it.
I guess.
Right.
But thank you, Pennywise, for at least stealing their. At least Pennywise maybe stole their thunder a little bit. Because you imagine, like, because people just want scary, creepy clowns. I don't think they care about the movie.
No, but you know what? No, but this is a whole other vibe than it.
Sure.
It is a scary, serious thing.
Yeah.
Where this is like, a whole other vibe.
Sure.
Like, it's so, the video game, they just released it to like Xbox and PlayStation. That's not a small feat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't do that for something that is like, I don't care if everybody here says it's garbage. You don't do it for something that everyone says is garbage. You know what I'm saying?
I would.
So I'm saying it holds up for the fact that
I think
I am not alone. And by the way, our announcer guy, he loves it. Steve, thank you very much. Yeah. Too bad he couldn't be here today. My wife, right? And Melanie's mom owns it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, but she owns everything.
I'm just alone right now.
She owns all these weird things. I would say I agree with what you're saying, Jay.
Oh, so we have to downplay it.
No. Yeah. Well, but what
I just think if you were like, high as a kite, then you would think this is hilarious.
Yeah, shrooms every day, all day long. So
they're terrifying.
Yes. I think but the question I would then ask for the people that are, I agree with you. Hey, look, you know what? I don't have a movie that held up for whatever or has a cult following, so what am I going to say? But I would counter the argument to say that how many of the people that are buying Killer Klowns from Outer Space merch saw the movie?
Well,
you know what I mean? Like, how many of them saw the movie? Did they just dig the clowns? Or like, I'm not going to poll those people because I'm afraid of the answers I'd get. No. I'm just saying, like, who actually saw? You know what?
All right, hold on. We all went and watched it on Pluto last night, but it was on. It's on Showtime right now. Okay. It was on HBO Max last month.
Sure.
It's there. It's plenty.
You got to know to look for it, though. It's not really in the algorithm of like, oh, you like this one? How about this one?
It's not on the front page of like.
Did you like Gone with the Wind? Perhaps you should watch.
Yeah, dude. There was. By the way, Gone with the Wind. I didn't think it was that great.
It's too long.
So yeah. Anyways. Give me Killer Klowns every day. No, but here's the thing. It's just, listen. Any other movie maybe, like that I might find stupid. Mm-hmm. Whatever. It just hit right.
Yeah, sure.
And like I said, there's a lot of stuff out there that is, like, I don't think they'd be producing as much as they are for, and like I said, I think Universal had a big... Halloween Horror Nights, having them there had a big, I think it was already a cult thing, and that made it even bigger.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that. They had a huge thing with that.
And they're still coming back. They just did a commercial. They did a commercial for Universal Halloween Horror Nights with... By the way, they're not a sponsor.
No, really?
They did an ad with a kid. No, I'm just saying. I've mentioned them so much. With some the different things where a guy's like at a gas station and he gets killed by one of them or whatever. So it's not for nothing.
Sure.
Well,
a lot of people love it. They do. I agree. A lot of people love it.
But do they love it or do they love it ironically? Because I feel like a lot of these things are, it's like, oh my God, it's so bad, it's funny to like it. And like what you were saying, like how many people actually saw this? I feel like it's like a lot of the high school, college age kids now that are wearing like Led Zeppelin t-shirts. I'm like, do you even listen to Led Zeppelin?
Yeah.
Or are you just wearing the t-shirt because it's fun?
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool and it's cute. And the clowns are cute. Like if you go to Spirit Halloween, they're like everything is cute. And a lot of people are scared of clowns. Like one of my daughters is petrified of clowns. So, she probably might be thinking it was scary just because she's petrified of clowns.
Yet you have a person with a severed head on a plate behind you.
She's not scared of those things. She's scared of a clown.
Wow. All right. Cool, man.
Josh.
Yes.
So my apologies that I put you through that today.
My apologies to you guys that you guys did this movie because I won't watch like actual horror movies because it takes me about 5 years to get over it. But
And by the way, I know I'm not alone. Like out there, other people will check this out just because they like it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure there's some chat rooms.
Mm-hmm.
I say, Josh, if you had to watch a horror movie, or you already have, what would it have been?
So I have watched some that I. So Insidious was the last one that I watched.
Wow. Okay.
Which one?
That's great.
Something. There's more than one.
Yeah, there's like 4.
Oh well, the first one, I guess.
Okay.
It was just Insidious, and I saw that one in 2011. I remember it because of who I was dating made me watch it, and that should have been a red flag. And so that's how long it takes me to get over things like that. But when I was younger, I did. Now, somebody mentioned, was there nudity in this? Did it get cut out for Pluto? I was also curious about that because one of the first nudity scenes I ever saw was a horror film, and it was American Werewolf in London.
Sure, the shower scene. Yep.
Yes, I was.
He remembers it exactly.
Yeah. No, because it was the first one. It was the first nude scene that I saw in front of like my parents and my grandparents because they just popped it on. I'm like, oh look, this is embarrassing.
All right, so that was our show. I would like to thank Josh Dolan. Josh, you want to tell us all the things you're doing lately?
But the main podcast that I'm doing is Breaking the Ice podcast with my former WAF teammates, Mike Shue, who I know has been on this podcast many times,
Mike,
and Isaiah, and so it's breakingtheicepodcast.com, Breaking the Ice podcast on all social media. And we got to get all three of you on Breaking the Ice very, very soon.
Yep. Sure enough. I can dig it.
Yeah,
excellent.
Everybody would like to thank Steve Lavoie for our introduction and Draco and the Malfoys for our theme music. And please rate and review and like and subscribe on YouTube and all sorts of things like that. And my name is Jay Fortier, and on behalf of Chris Martineau and Melanie Howerton, I'd like to thank you again for joining us on the Film Crickets. And until next time, movies may not age like fine wine, but we drink them anyway.
Bye.
Film Crickets, chirping about movies.